What's going on, YouTube family? Jared Weiss back here with another video on the Jared and James channel. And if you guys didn't know, that must mean you're not subscribed. So you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure to like the video. Be sure to help us out. Really trying to grow this channel. Trying to grow all my social media. So follow me everywhere. And comment also, because those also help with the whole algorithm and stuff. So even though I'm not a huge fan of the whole algorithm, you definitely gotta play with it. Gotta play the game. So to start off, it's actually thunderstorming outside today, so I actually figured today would be a good chance to get back to talking about some of this crazy stuff that's going on in the world, give you guys my take on it, and my hope is that even if you guys don't agree with everything that I'm saying, even if you guys are people who prefer to listen to the mainstream media and believe the lies and believe that you're not as powerful as I believe all of us are, hopefully the way that I present my message is in such a positive way, even if you don't agree with everything that I'm saying, hopefully you guys still feel empowered by the message, and hopefully it inspires you to speak your truth and speak whatever you believe is going on in this world, because we definitely need more discourse in the world, especially with all this with all this censorship going on. It's actually discouraging people from improving themselves, as well as from speaking their truth, which is not a good thing, alright? Censorship is bad. Also guys, I'm all about live and let live. Just don't force your beliefs onto me. So I obviously have my own belief systems that work for me, but if you guys disagree with anything, that's totally fine. Just don't force your beliefs onto me. So for any of you guys who've been aware of what's going on in the world, especially with the whole elites agenda, with the whole globalist agenda, with the whole agenda 2030. By the way, there's gonna be some code words I'm gonna have to say to get around the whole censorship stuff once again. But I'm gonna try to do this in the most positive way possible, so that you guys could get value out of what I'm saying, rather than fear and rather than anger or any of that type of stuff. So today's message, I'm going to be focusing on why is it that the media, the people in power, the governments around the world, why is it that these people feel the need to lie to us so often? So one thing that I'm going to say is that it's because they actually know how powerful we are, but they don't want us to realize that, because as I've said in the past, if we all realize how powerful we are, and if we all expressed our own sovereignty, and if we all attacked our own dreams, we wouldn't need them to rule over us. It just wouldn't make sense. So therefore, these people indoctrinate us through the school system, through the mainstream media. They're always striking fear into us, striking division over every subject, and it's all in this effort to get us to forget who we truly are as spiritual, eternal, powerful beings. And moreover, when these people actually create these problems, as I believe almost all these crises, in my opinion, or in my belief, have all been manufactured, have all been encouraged by these people in power, and then we get convinced that all this stuff is actually our fault, and then it's their job to fix it. So whether it be the war on illness, the war on drugs, the war on poverty, all these problems all get encouraged by the same people who claim to be on our side, and who claim to be trying to cure us. Or when it comes to the whole climate issues, I don't want to get too far into that, but when these people pollute the atmosphere more than anyone, and when they give us all these pharmaceuticals and put all these chemicals in our food supply, and then we wonder why people are getting so sick, and we wonder why the air isn't clean, the water supply isn't clean, it just it doesn't add up. But then these people try to convince us that it's actually our fault, and then they try to convince us that we're overpopulating the world, and we're eating too much meat, we shouldn't be driving gas-powered cars. But meanwhile, there's so many more root causes of these issues these people are actually causing. And then, as Alec Zeck has said in the past, whatever you resist will persist. So whenever you create a war against illness, and then when you convince people to take all these measures that I believe are actually bad for our health, and then more people are getting sick, and then the people who are actually healthy, who aren't doing whatever the government or the media tells us to do, ends up getting blamed for that. It's just how does that make sense? Moreover, so when it comes to all these food shortages that are going on right now, I believe this is all being done purposely to get us to eat like whatever Bill Gates grows in the lab, or to get us to stop eating all the foods that are actually good for us. Like, because like as I said in the past, the healthier we are, the less dependent we are on them, and like the more sovereignty we're able like to express. So for instance, when these people convince us that like the reason why millions of cows have died is actually because they have like some illness like that like we're not able like to like look into for ourselves, but like where they try to convince us that like it's actually the hot temperature that killed them, when meanwhile like the hot temperature exists at this time of year every year, and like they never died. It's like we should be like questioning these things. Like we should be questioning why is it that like all these animals are dying, when meanwhile like these same people are predicting food shortages. And then moreover, when Bill Gates is actually the largest farmland owner in the US, and like meanwhile like he's telling us to eat lab grown meat and to eat all this like other like toxic garbage, like which has been sprayed with glyphosate, like which has been sprayed with all these toxic chemicals that actually don't contribute to our health. And then on top of that, we're also getting more sick as a nation, as a world, like which I don't believe is due to some microscopic particles, like it's due to all of our lifestyle choices. But like once again, like as you guys know, I also believe like we could heal from anything, and like it's up to us to take personal responsibility over our health. So like a lot of people like have been indoctrinated to believe like everything that's going on is all just like bad leadership, and that like it's all being done just by like poor decision making. So like for instance, like meanwhile gas prices are going up so much, then meanwhile our government is shipping all of our oil over to other countries like China and what else, and like wherever else. It's just like it's all being done intentionally and to create these crises, I believe. Once again, like I don't want you guys outsourcing truth or power to anyone. I want you guys to be asking these questions for yourselves, so that this way you guys can ultimately come to your own conclusions and be able to find your own truth, not just the truth that like the people in power want you to believe. Moreover, there's all these like false flags that I believe. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard the concept of a false flag, but like innocent people end up getting hurt by these events that have been encouraged by the people in power, unfortunately. And then these people create these laws that end up being worse for us, and we end up giving up more of our freedom willingly because we're essentially manifesting their reality. So like as I said in the past, I believe we all have this incredible power to manifest our wildest dreams, to manifest our largest desires, but like the people in power don't want us to realize how much power we have. So therefore, they want us to manifest their reality, which as like one of the most evil people in the world, like who I can think of, has said in the past, Klaus Schwab. He said that we're gonna own nothing and be happy about it. But like that's ultimately what he wants for us. But like I don't think any of us really want to live in a world where like all of our power has been relinquished, and like we have no say in what goes on in our lives anymore, because we have that power within us, all of us. So like as I've said in the past, we're not just a speck of dust in this universe that just came here by accident. We are the most beautiful and designed, incredible creatures on the earth. We came here at this time for a reason. So like we all have God within us. We all have the power to manifest, to create our own realities, to go after all of our dreams. But like it all starts with the power of the mind, with breaking free from this matrix.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
With realizing how amazing you actually are, and like it all starts putting in all the daily work and doing all the positive habits every day to get you to where you are, and then over time like you start to realize that like you don't need to be told like what to do. You don't need to fall for every false flag. You don't have to give up all your spiritual power, give up all your spiritual energy to the news media, to the government, like, because that's not who you are. You're not a subject to any government. You have God within you. They want you to be more compliant and do what they say, so they try to get you to think that people like me are some crazy conspiracy theorists, which was actually a term that was coined by the CIA. So like And they end up playing all these mind games on you to get you to be scared, to get you to stay in your house, to get you to stop eating good food, and they get you to inject yourself with all these pharmaceuticals, and to get you to like essentially do as they say, but then whenever they act differently, they end up justifying it. Next, so like going along in the same lines of like how everything has been like created along the lines of like division, as well as like getting us like to believe like we're not these amazing people. They also like try to reduce us down to like essentially, as I said before, like they try to reduce us down like to like these like specks of dust. So like they try to get us to identify fully with political parties, to get us to identify with gender, to get us like to identify with like these little tiny pieces of ourselves, but like that's not even like close like to who we truly are. Like we're so much more than our bodies, even though our bodies are amazing and we have to treat them right. We're so much more than like just a piece of our belief system. Like we're everything. So like they also try to reduce the benefits of the sun down to vitamin D. So like as if like the sun isn't like fully essential for life and doesn't do so much more for us and keeps us on the earth. They try to reduce the food down to just calories, like energy as they call it, like rather than a full compilation of healthy ingredients that should be taken care of properly, that shouldn't be infused with chemicals, that shouldn't be sprayed with glyphosate. And then our own bodies, we're so much more than our race, our gender, like all this stuff like was just like meant to divide us along these lines, to get us to forget how connected we are, to make us forget how like we're all part of nature, and how like we don't need anyone to save us outside of nature. Nature, as I would say, nature heals as long as you understand natural principles. And like it's important to remember that like we're all connected to nature. So anyways, I know I definitely threw a lot at you guys today, especially for those of you guys who don't listen to people such as like Sam Tripoli, Alec, Zeck. This may sound like a lot to you. Maybe you guys don't agree with everything I'm saying. You guys just think that everything going on like is fully isolated events that aren't actually designed like to weaken us, like to make us think that like we're not these amazing creatures. Maybe you guys love the mainstream media. Maybe you guys like thinking that like you're all weak and need to be saved by government, like like large corporations and whatnot. But I hope that you guys understand, at the very least, that I'm trying to do this in the most positive way possible. I want all you guys to be able to succeed. Like I want all of us to have the freedom to choose like whatever it is that we want to do in life. I want us all to be able to go after all of our goals, and like I truly wish massive success for all of us. Because so like one more thing I want to add. So like we've also been convinced that like the world's resources are limited. We've been convinced that like water is limited and food supplies are limited, and like they try to convince us that so this way we don't realize that like we don't need them to enact all these laws, to do all this stuff, like because I believe the water supply is always regenerating, oil is always regenerating. There's so many more uses for water, there's so many more uses, and also like as I read about in What Really Makes You Ill by Dawn Lester and David Parker, the world's resources are fully unlimited. So like there's definitely enough food for everyone, as long as farmers actually stick to like regenerative agriculture practices and like stop spraying the food and stop giving the animals antibiotics and all this other crap that like they don't need. And as long as they also stop killing all of the animals as well as plant life. But like I know I brought that up for a little bit, but like there's like so much more in depth that goes into that. But like anyways, hope this message helps you think. Hope you guys realize that like you are the most powerful things on the universe. You were meant to be here on this time at this exact moment. So like never forget that. Don't let any of this negativity that's out there make you forget how amazing you are. Also remember that it's up to us to create heaven on earth for us, not manifest their dystopia for them, which ultimately leaves them in more power, more wealth, and like leaves us powerless. So like remember that. Don't fall for their dystopia, for all their fear mongering. So think for yourself, be critical thinkers. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Speak your truth, no matter how controversial it is, because the world needs more truth speakers. It also needs more truth seekers. No matter how uncomfortable it is, the truth will always prevail. I believe humanity will ultimately prevail. And so anyways, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, drop a comment. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Also, one more thing I want to say. So like, I know that like our YouTube channel has like a lot of like different topics, and like sometimes like it might be like hard to see like in the connections with all the topics, like which I'm definitely gonna talk about like in like another video. But like anyways, the reason why like I find it like so important like to like address like all the topics I spoke about today is because I actually believe there's a lot of like overlap between spirituality, holistic health, as well as like becoming the best version of yourself, and also understanding all these principles that I spoke about today, as well as like breaking free from the indoctrination and like realizing how powerful you are. So like I hope that like that message didn't get lost in like all the topics that I spoke about today.